Hi, it's Ray Mills, your VBA craftsman. Today I'm going to talk about my Sidekick tool. Now, I've heard that, and I know that the best work I do is when I have all my tools in front of me, and the most efficient I am. So what this is a little form that pops up alongside. It's really more a concept than a tool, right? This is designed for me. This is the stuff that I use a lot during the day, and the idea is to have it all in one place. But I do have some tools here that are kind of common. That is to say, that you would use as well. Oh, let me get rid of my mail. Oh, how that's troubling. Anyway, um, so let's start. Okay. So when I have it set up automatically using the personal workbook, in the workbook open, I have an event that pops this open. So when you open Excel, the Sidekick version 1.1 pops open. Okay, it's just a spreadsheet. So and it opens up this particular form, Sidekick form. So let's go through the tools that I put here in my thinking and how you might want to use it for yours. Build one for yourself. So the first thing I have on top is the ToDo Manager. The ToDo Manager is what I'm working on daily. I can have a major topic that I'm working, like the backup tool, and then I'll have subtopics. So what happens is basically when you're writing code or doing anything, you discover little things that you need to do during the process, and you want to remember to do that. Like, for example, I know that I want to have an auto run feature. I want to add that to this master sheet so that way it'll automatically, for the backup tool, it'll automatically run so that it saves the files without you having to do anything, like when you exit Excel, right? So anything's been updated will automatically be saved to your backup location. Pretty nice. Well, we can talk about that in a minute, but let's go on. So the ToDo keeps track of the various tools that we're working on, and have an opportunity to keep notes, etc., and sub tasks that need to be done with that. And I set a date, and for me, mostly it's what I'm working on, ideas I have, etc., right? So, okay, let's close that. Let's go on to the Notion tool. Now, the Notion tool is ideas I have, right? So these are things that I'm thinking about and I want to explore. So just for example, I'm working on a script in writing your first script in Google Sheets, so that you can, jump over to Google Sheets instead of writing VBA macros. Just a thought. There are lots of different things. Graph Magic, for example, did some graphing for a client where we actually got into the nitty-gritty and adjusted data points by the point, specifically, so that on a very dense graph, we were able to demonstrate show all the points without them running together. So it gives you real fine control over your graph. So anyway, so those are some of the things that I'm working on. So I have a ToDo Manager and then a Notional tool. Now the VBA shortcode is pretty specific to the work I do, and I did pop something up here I want to show you. Okay, so if I'm writing if I'm writing a post on VBA, I might want to include some code, right? So what I do is I can pop it into that spreadsheet, and it automatically converts the code to some very nice HTML that allows me to put numbers, and you see a little line here, and with some CSS to do this, and I create an HTML dot, I drop in a shortcode, and then I can have a very nice display of the code that I'm doing. This is, if you look around, you'll see if the VBA sheets or any pages that you see in the VBA, you won't see this on every page, only the really good ones, because they went to the time to find the CSS code or write the CSS code that I did to create this and to create a good visual display of your code, right, of snippets of code that you're including in your posts, okay? Capture email list is pretty interesting. What this is going to do is, so for example, I have downloads that people take from me all the time, and this probably will be one. And if I double click on it, it's going to load Internet Explorer, as you see here. It's going to jump into my website, and then it's going to go, and it's actually going to, I'm not going to let it run through the whole thing, okay? It's going to actually go through and find anybody who's downloaded, take their email address and add it to my subscription list, so I could say, hey, I've updated the tool, etc. So that's pretty cool, right? The file backup tool is, these are like the key critical, like the Notion tool or this particular one, the Sidekick. These are particularly important files that I use that I want to have backed up to an alternate location, right? So Excel, as you know, if you set it up properly, it will back up your files to C. But that's not good enough, right? Because if you have problems with your PC, you may not be able to retrieve them. So you probably want to back up to maybe a LAN. In my case, I use an external drive. And what this allows you to do is you just pick a file. It adds it to the list, and you can have up to 50 in this particular version. And it will automatically search when you go to close at night and say close Excel. It'll search, and it will say, okay, has anything been backed up? Has anything any of these files been revised, right? So I have like 22, I think, 22 of them on here right now. Right? So it says, have they been revised? Have I worked on them? And do I want to? And it's going to automatically save that revision to the. Now this one was backed up on the 30th, right? So if we said backup right now, it's going to back up that file, okay? And it's done. And you see that the last backup was done. Let's just see again. Let's close this and see if it updates it. Okay, let's go back to the file backup. And it was backed up on, it was backed up on 11.3. I'm sorry, I was looking at this one. So it was backed up on 11.3, and it was worked on today, and it was backed up on 3. So this is actually the backup file itself. That's the only thing I revised today. So that's why that works, okay? So file backup backs up anything, so it makes sure that, and it does so in a passive manner. So it backs it up to in my case, a D drive, and it's there in case something goes wrong with this PC. All those key files that I don't want to lose, hours of work, don't go away. So it's really nice. Working screens, I just double click to show you, and it sets up my this is on a large worksheet, large screen, I should say. And this facilitates me just one click. I'm ready to work, right? I have Excel on this side. I have my VBE, Visual Basic Editor, on this side, and I can rock and roll, right? The VBE code tool allows me to put my header automatically put my header and copy and basically actually look at like modules and forms, etc., and copy them over and move them to different spreadsheets. Connection strings, I write connections to databases all the time, so I have them here. Center form is like something I use on every form. I automatically center the form so it appears like right here. So in this case, we're controlling the sidekick to make sure it comes alongside our working file, right? We don't need this. And the Craftsman allows me to open my Craftsman website. My Craftsman logs me into the website so I can make changes. Thoughtful logs me into my other website, Thoughtful Living in a Complex World. And Thoughtful logs me into that website so I can make changes, right? So that, again, these are logins. These are just bring up the site, and these are log into the sites as an admin, so I can make changes to the pages, etc. So, overall point of this is, you can have at your fingertips the things that you do most often. So it'll speed you along. It will help you do backups passively, so that if you get into trouble and something blows up on that on that PC, you have that stuff backed up. It's really cool. And it's passive, it's easy. And then I do my email captures, so every day I'll look and see, has anybody downloaded, and they do every day of the week. And if they have, capture their email and maybe send them a greeting note that says, hey, thanks for downloading. If you find an improvement you make that you want to share, please contact me, whatever. Or you need a customization, that's also possible too. So this is it. I call it the sidekick. And if you like it, I'm going to put a page out on my website. If you like it, go to the page and contact me, and I'll send you a copy of it. You can pick which ones you think might be useful. All right? Thanks. So it's Ray Mills, Excel and VBA Craftsman.com.